Okay. All right. Thanks for sticking around. Many of you don't know me. You don't know I'm a huge sports fan, and we have a big sports weekend coming up here in Marquette County. I'm going to touch base on a couple things here. Negaunee is playing football this weekend. They beat Elk Rapids, who was 9-0. They beat them 22-15 last week. Negaunee's going down to Iron Mountain Friday at 7 p.m. to play the Mountaineers. Ishpeming, a traditional power in District in Division 7. Ishpeming is going to be hosting Mansalona Saturday at 1 p.m. at the Ishpeming football field. But we've got even a game that we think is a little bit bigger, certainly more notable right here in Marquette. The Marquette Redmen hosting their first playoff game in the history of the program. Marquette's hosting Cadillac Saturday at 1 p.m. How about those Redmen, huh? Right. Okay. Yeah. And with us are the voices of Redmen football on Bay Radio. We have Nick Palmer and John Thomsen. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Dougie, how are you?
All right.
To be here.
John, you've been around for many years. This is this is historic in proportion. We've seen nothing like it.
I've never seen anything like it. I think the closest thing for myself, about 15 years of radio, was when Marquette High, in one event, defeated Detroit Catholic Central in hockey. And that was like beating the Russians. But it was a single event. It was really special. But this has been an event that has been a culmination of weeks of work, and it's the most fulfilling thing I've ever had in years of radio.
Well, this team was 0 for 2 years. They came out and lost their first game against Petoskey, and it was looking like, well, we're gonna keep this going. But something happened. Something turned around.
Well, yeah, they came back, scored an important touchdown, down 2 touchdowns early in the football game. You're thinking, here we go again. And then they realized that we are something. And again, each game and maybe even each quarter grew during the season. There were special events that these guys came back from, and they persevered, and they believed. And speaking of believe, Nick, my man here, Nick, a senior at the high school, whenever the coaches said, who would have ever thought this could happen, the players to a man would say, Nick did.
Yeah. Nick, what's it been like over at the high school these days with this resurgence?
It's just been unbelievable overall. You know, thinking about it, 0-9 the past 2 years to now, we're pretty good. It's just unbelievable right now. The atmosphere at the high school has something that nobody's ever seen before.
Yeah, and we're looking at this game Saturday, 1 o'clock. They're not playing in the Dome. They're playing at the high school field, and we're looking at to have a big crowd out there for this one.
Well, of course, we had the big crowd with the Negaunee homecoming game. People are saying to this day that their estimates, especially with the hillside people that were out there, that their estimates between 4,000 and 5,000 people at that high school football game. Certainly the biggest gate that Marquette High School has ever seen. And, you know, we'd like to push for that again. And I know Northern has a home game, and I know Ishpeming has a home game, but there's enough people around town. And the people that I've spoken to around town this week, they are planning. I have a friend who said, I'm going to be in Detroit, and I'm going to be driving as fast as I can to be back here. And he's just an example. Absolutely.
For those who go, Nick, who are the players on this team that we need to be looking for?
You know, there's really a bunch of them. 4 players were named to the All-UP team. Garrett Pentecost, a junior, is the dream team running back. He's kind of the main guy, but also they have Kasem Kunala, who's the big fullback, who also plays linebacker, averages about 90 yards a game rushing, but gets 12 tackles a game. Now, 12 tackles a game
That's a lot.
is really a lot. That's really good. Also, good players are Colin Terry, who came back for this year because he believed in the program, and now Marquette's just reaping the benefits of a big play receiver.
And they've got an efficient quarterback, the young Emmendorfer at quarterback.
Nick Emmendorfer, right.
Right, and they've got some Zach Green, some pretty big kids playing in the interior lines.
Zach's one of the captains, and certainly he's a team leader, no question about it.
Now, we've got to talk about the coach. First-year coach took this program and turned it around, Dave LaHillier.
Well, David's been around the program, obviously, a long time as offensive coordinator, and he's coached down in the lower ranks, and you probably know his history a little better than I, but David is Pudgy's kid. He's a LaHillier, and, you know, that they're winners. And I thought David surrounded himself with great assistants. And all due respect to Chris and all the previous coaches and the staff, but David went outside the box. He took Spike Hool, who was one of the candidates for the job, and my understanding he was runner-up, and said, you know what, I want you. And he's out of the Escanaba program. Todd Koski, who's a corrections officer, out of the Negaunee program. And then Jim Iwaniki, Marquette County Road Commissioner, who is out of the Westwood program. That guy's a genius, and he's surrounded himself with talent. And it's just incredible what that whole coaching staff has done.
Yeah, you know, this program, and I'm not that close to it, but I was looking at it thinking, you know, football's struggling in a lot of places in the country. Football was struggling here in Marquette. And I'm thinking, you know, this program might not be around much longer, and all of a sudden it's got quite a future.
I've had 3 I know I've had 3 people who are on the Marquette High School Redmen hockey team who said, we want to be on that team next year. And one of the kids said, you know what, I don't even care if I take a snap just to wear the uniform and be there when that crowd's there. And to me, that speaks volumes when Marquette High School is known for their hockey, but when those kids want to play, and that's how I would like it to be. I think just the tradition of all the sports be fantastic.
Oh, sure. Well, win or lose, it's been a great season. 1 o'clock again at Marquette High School field. Now there's going to be a rally at the high school, I think, Friday afternoon.
Sometime Friday afternoon, there will be a pep rally. People are encouraged to come. The public, wear red to the game. We need a big atmosphere because we're sending Cadillac downstate for a long ride home with a loss.
Sounds good to me. All right. John Thomsen, Nick Palmer, Marquette Redmen. Let's look for them Saturday, 1 o'clock at the high school field. Go Redmen!
Go Red!
At Range, we only sell you the phone you need.
No pressure, just great friendly service.
Get your next cell phone at Range. We introduce personal communications to the UP.
Great. Super. That's it. I'm full. I want to thank our guests, Sarah Derwin from the Marquette County Health Department, Lanni Lantto, fashion redesigner. The Fat Man was here, and John Thomsen and Nick Palmer, the radio voices of the Marquette Redmen. Watch them this weekend. Also want to thank our helpers from the Public Relations Student Society of America, NMU chapter. Thanks a lot, guys. All right, yeah. Let's hear it for them. I want to thank our live audience here at Up Front and Company. Check us out on the web at the DougGarrisonShow.com. We'll see you next week.